What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? Boys here. And it has been a while, hasn't it? It has been a while since we had facecam on this channel. And the main reason for that being is that normally now I'm not gonna have too much time to be able to do this normal face-to-face live cam reactions that I always like to do. And the main reason for it is that I have a lot more classes here in this kind of term for the rest of, well, let's say this month and maybe the two after that. And well, the live cam, it takes a little bit longer to do, especially when you make mistakes. You have to edit them, do it everything again. Using just voice is a lot more easier. So that is something that you will understand if you do stuff like this as well. But well, in this video we're gonna be taking a look at the Q&A. The Q&A has been something I've been telling you guys for over a week now, and I've gotten a lot of your questions, guys, which I'm gonna answer in this video. I'm gonna be trying to answer all of them. Obviously it's not gonna be possible because if not, we're gonna be here for 30 minutes, and I don't know if you want to see my face for 30 minutes. So well, let's get started right with it. So the first set of questions which I'm going to be answering are going to be those from Twitter. If you haven't gotten Twitter yet, make one and follow me there as well. You can see it on screen right now. Certainly I think that's going to be the place where I'm going to be active most of the time. There are going to be some times where I'm going to be in classes watching a game or stuff like that, and I'm not going to be kind of like in my setup, so I can just answer you and talk with you via Twitter. I have gotten a lot more recent kind of like conversation with you guys through this platform, so you haven't done so, follow me there. But the very first question is from Barça Muslim, and he says, who's your favorite footballer out of Barça? And well, my favorite footballer out of Barcelona has to be probably Sergi Roberto. I don't know why, but it has just been something that I like about him, that he just works for the badge always 24/7. Doesn't matter which position he plays, he always does good. In my eyes, he's a complete all-rounder, and I love that in a player. So for me, he's probably my favorite Barcelona player at this current moment. That's not to say that I don't like Lionel Messi or Suarez, but for me, just if I had to stay with one, I would go with Sergi Roberto. Next question from The League to Barcelona. He says, describe Barcelona as a club, playing style as well as values. I don't know if that's a question, but well, I'm gonna do my best. For me, Barcelona, I've always liked this club because of what they demonstrate, because they want to be more than a club. For me, if I take a look at, I don't know, other clubs like Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, even in the Premier League, Liverpool, be it Manchester City or United, they just care about like the football, you know, they just care about winning, they just care about getting those trophies. In the case of Barcelona, we see a lot more than that. We see kind of like our whole players being a complete unit and always trying to do the best for each other. As well, they want to become friends, they want to have a good environment surrounding the club, and I just feel that that is much more important than what all of the other clubs put out just by winning. You know, I'll be much happier having a good environment than actually winning trophy for me, because the players that come here to Barcelona, they enjoy their football. That for me is the most important thing. For instance, one thing that I could see possibly happening is that since Jasper Cillessen is now injured and he's going to be able to play his first El Clásico, it wouldn't surprise me, for instance, if let's say the next El Clásico he's fit, someone like Marc-André ter Stegen would say to Jasper Cillessen, don't worry, you go play that game. That is something that all our players have, is the values of understanding, consideration, and being just kind to each other, being humble. That's the most important thing for me, not only in football, but around the world, in everything you do. So for me, those are the values that Barcelona set up to be. And now we got another question from Barça Muslim, and he says, what major are you going for? I'm going for media production. I was originally going to study game design to make video games. It's something that I love. Like, apart from football, I play games almost once every day, at least something. So I would obviously loved about doing that. I love designing, creating new ideas, be it on art or visual art, like drawing and stuff like that, or just doing it by video. And I decided to do it by video because I believe that these are the kind of tools that I need to become better to finally become, I don't know, the best I can be. So I wanted to get the necessary tools and the necessary kind of like skills to be able to produce the best content possible. So I choose this career, which is media production. Next up, we got a question from Southpaw Site, and he says, if Valverde wasn't the manager of Barcelona, who would be your ideal choice? In my eyes, really, there are not too many good managers out there right now, and with good I mean kind of like managers that fit into the Barcelona playing style and what we want as a football club, because there are good managers out there. For me, the best manager right now currently has to be El Cholo Simeone from Atletico Madrid. He's outstanding. Simeone for me has been the best manager for a few years now. Pochettino is also up there. Even people like, I don't think Guardiola is right there at this moment. I don't really think so. I feel that Jurgen Klopp perhaps, maybe somebody like Maximiliano Allegri at Juventus. Guardiola, you know, it's at the level. Okay, yeah, I retract. Guardiola is there, but I don't think that right now there's like the best manager out there. You know, there's not just one guy. So I don't know any managers that could fit at Barcelona. Quique Setién has been one that many people want to have at Barcelona, but he hasn't done, I think, good stuff or enough stuff to demonstrate that he could be the manager at Barcelona. For me, he needs to do a little bit more, but right now for me he would be the best manager out there at this moment. But I would have preferred somebody else, but I wouldn't be angry with it either. So for me right now, Quique Setién would be the choice. So next question comes from Javali Grant, and he says, do you know Talk FCV? Well, I do not know Jamie, which is Talk FCV. I do not know him. I would love to know him like all of you guys out there. I'm just a fan like him. And another question that has been pop up here is if I watch his videos, and of course I watch his videos. But the thing is that when you consume Barcelona like almost all the time, like every single day, because well, I'm doing this YouTube channel, your initial reaction is not to go and watch more Barcelona videos. You know, if I just watch Barcelona versus Valencia, you know, the 2-2 draw, my initial reaction is not to go and watch another video on the very same thing I just talked about, because it just gets boring. I want to watch Barcelona, I want to do my video, but then I want to have something more fresh to do, like, I don't know, play a video game or go talk with my friends. Is that just a normal thing? Kind of like if you do something every single day for the rest of your life, you're gonna get bored. So it's not my initial reaction to watch his videos. But of course, whenever there's a video that there's a topic that I'm not covering or something I haven't heard, of course I go watch his videos like any other normal person. And he has been a very big inspiration for me, because always putting out videos almost every single day is very, very hard, and he's doing that perfectly. Next up, we got Jordi8196917.5, and he says, do you have a girlfriend? No, I do not have a girlfriend, and that's sad. That's really, really sad. Next up, we got at Taco Titan, and he says, do you live at university or do you study and live at home? I live at university, but not in the university. I moved from Peru, which is where I come from, and I went to Bournemouth, which is a place in England. You may know them from their football club, Bournemouth AFC. And well, I lived in Bournemouth, and I lived kind of like 15 minutes away from a bus all the way to the university. And that is something which I thought it was going to be kind of hard on doing, because in Peru I could just walk anywhere, but here you have to like take the bus or I don't know, do stuff like that. So it was a little bit hard to adapt, but at the end I'm happy where I am right now, and I hope that this could be like a stepping stone to then move to Barcelona, which is a city I'm in love with. Next up, we got Fanana Swag, which is the name of my roommate Harvey. You haven't met him. He's you have seen him in one of my videos perhaps here or there, and some people say he looks like Ricky Puig. I'm not too sure, but well, he says like, hey BugaLuis, I'm a big fan. You are so hot. I am a girl, by the way. You're not a girl.
So who the hell is Bob, and why you wanna kiss him? Ew. I'm a blue-eyed white dragon, while you're just dark magician. Oof. You got a fifth of the population in your nation, but I got 9 year olds, the world's a whole, your defecation. Oops. Multipatlo, what the fuck is that even? So
next up, we got Barsadinho. He says, have you ever played football, not FIFA or any video game? Yes, of course. I think everybody out there has played football at least once, but I have never played proper football, if that's what you're asking. Like, I've never joined a club or anything. I always play with friends, just playing like 5 versus 5 or whatever is out there, like in school breaks. I used to do that a lot, and I normally was kind of like a defender. I'm not the most athletic person out there, but something that I do well is kind of like read the game. So I always was a sort of defender, very good from corners, stuff like that. I'm that sort of guy. Next up, we got Abadir Dakware, and he asks, which software do you use for editing? I use normally Premiere Pro. Before I used to use Sony Vegas or Vegas Pro, whatever you want to call it, but kind of like Premiere is a little bit more flexible in what you can do, so I prefer this now. But I think that I need to change to Avid, which Avid at the end of the day is going to be kind of like the professional one. So if I want to get a really good job somewhere out there, I need to start learning Avid, but right now I use Premiere. Next up, we got Playboy Uzi. Nice name. That's a very nice name. And he says, how did you become a Barca supporter, and where are you from? Where I am from, Peru. Peru is a country in South America. I'm from Lima, the capital. Technically, I was born in Chile, in Santiago de Chile, the capital of Chile, but all my life I've lived in Peru. You know, my family is from Peru, everything is from Peru. I just happen to be born in Chile, but for me, Peru is my home. That's where I'm from. And how did I become a Barca supporter? Well, that is something which I actually honestly do not remember. I do not remember how I became a Barcelona supporter. I just remember, like, I don't know, watching football one day and then becoming a Barcelona supporter. I don't have a reason like most people are. I just think that from watching videos like, or watching kind of like matches here and there, I just got inclined to them. But for me, like I mentioned previously, the real thing that got me clicking with the club is the values and the things that they put on forward. You know, they don't only believe about football, they believe about so much more. So for me, that was the key for becoming a Barcelona supporter. But there's not like an event or an anecdote that I can say that is when I became a Barca supporter. No, for me, it's just the values that they put out. Next up, we got another question from Just For Fun, and he asks, which is your favorite football team apart from FC Barcelona? Well, obviously my favorite team apart from Barcelona could be the Peruvian national team, but I mean, he probably refers to clubs. And in terms of clubs, I have some clubs which I'm kind of like very kind to, like clubs that I have a little bit of emotion towards to, or clubs I want to genuinely that they do good, you know, clubs which I hope they win their games. And those clubs for me are probably Inter Milan. I don't know why, but I like Inter. I really like Inter. I think that that's because of my dad. My dad watched a lot of Inter games when I was younger, so probably just because of that, I like Inter somewhat. Spurs are a club which I respect a lot, but they kind of like make me mad because they just need to win a trophy. For fuck's sake, win a trophy, Spurs. Because as soon as they win a trophy, they're gonna become a really good club. They have done everything well. They have done the right steps. They have bought well. They have played good. Now it's time to win a trophy. I hope Spurs do good as well. But after that, not too many teams that I like. I like Barcelona 100%. That's my team. I'm not gonna change. In La Liga, teams like Valencia, Atletico Madrid, Real Betis, they are good teams, which I appreciate as well. Also Sevilla, but it's not kind of like there's another club which I support. I support Barcelona and that's it. Next up, we got a question from Bart van de Pol, and he asks, congratulations for getting 5k subscribers. Thank you very much. And what was the best match you have ever watched? Well, this is something which I already talked about in a video, which I'm going to probably link somewhere around here. And my best match that I've ever watched is, of course, the 6-1 between Barcelona and PSG. I remember that match, like, I remember from minute 1 to minute 90, and I remember everything I did before and after, because that whole event was insane. I'm gonna tell a real kind of like quick story, summary of what happened that day, but I talked really in depth before on another video. Like I said, I'm gonna link somewhere around here. But well, that day was super insane. Like, I remember I was in school, and of course everybody was kind of like, Barcelona are not gonna go through, what are you saying, Buga? Eres un estúpido, claramente no van a pasar, eres un tonto por creer que van a pasar. And I'm just kind of like, I'm believing that Barcelona can go through, because I just watched, you know, the social media of the players, and all of them were kind of positive and confident that they could get la remontada. So I said to my dad that day, please dad, can I miss school to watch the game? Because in Peru the games are kind of like around 12 midday, and at that time you're in school, and you know Champions League games are on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, so I couldn't watch it if I go to school. So I went to my dad and said, please dad, can I miss school? I know Barcelona is going to go through. And genuinely, thank you very much to my dad, because he let me miss school, and I missed school, and I stay at home, and I watched Barcelona versus PSG, and at the end of that day, I was crying like a baby, because I was so happy that Barcelona went through. Like, I closed even the doors of my room, and there was this lady that used to kind of like help us clean the house and stuff like that, and I had my door locked, and genuinely I was crying and I was shouting, and she thought that I kind of like committed suicide or something, I cut myself or something, because she desperately called my mom. And no, the fact was that I was watching the football game, you know. That's a very good memory that I just kind of like cherish a lot. That day was insane. Next up, we got a question from AK Shay or Akshay, and he asked, what was your inspiration to start this channel? And well, actually I got two or three main inspirations. Like I said, Talk FCV, another kind of like footballing channel in Spanish, which is called Mr. Seitan. He's a very smart person. Like, that guy actually knows about everything he mentions. He talks facts, you know. He's that smart. He's really, really smart. And then a channel that is kind of like in South America, a program, sorry, that is called Fútbol Total, and it's kind of like a group of people from different countries around South America, and they just talked about football, and I love them. They are like, sometimes what they say may be kind of wrong, and I would love to be there because I just want to like shut them down because they're talking bullshit and they don't know what they're saying. But all around, the whole program is very, very fun. So for me, those were my main 3 inspirations to start this channel. Moving on, we got a question from Casper Michael Bust, and he asked, which center back would you like us to buy in the summer? And well, in center backs, of course, I would like to say De Ligt. I have 2 main guys with Barcelona would sign, De Ligt and then Milan Skriniar. Skriniar from Inter right now? Oh my god, he's top 3 or top 2? Or I cannot say the best center back in the world right now because I think that's Van Dijk. But he's up there, you know, he's top 2 or top 3 or top 4 or top 5. Between the top 5 players, he's in there. Milan Skriniar, he's insane. I would love to have him at Barcelona, but of course, De Ligt would also be an amazing player. And one of those 2 players should come to Barcelona. Like, Barcelona need to sign a world-class defender for the next 10 years this season. Next up, we got Bugger, which is one of my mates in university, and he asked, which one is your better classmate, Oscar or Casper? And I'm gonna say Nicole. Wink. Next up, we got a question from freaking Subtic, and he says, can we get more of your roommate Ricky Puig in your videos? Well, as I already mentioned, Harvey is my roommate, freaking idiot, and he's gonna be joining us for probably Los El Clásico matches, because those are kind of like, you know, the big events. Of course, he's doing, I'm not gonna lie, he does have a lot of free time, but I don't know, he just, sometimes he watches football matches, sometimes he doesn't. So of course we have to talk about the games where he has seen the game. You know, I cannot have someone sitting here in the bed saying kind of like bullshit because he hasn't seen the game, you know. So probably the games that we see together, those are the ones he can be in the channel, you know. And then we got, if I'm not wrong, let me open this up. I got more questions from some of the comments below in one of our recent, of course, videos. And the first question comes from the Rebecca Black, and he or she asks, most entertaining season, the treble with Luis Enrique, so 2014, 2015. Then most entertaining game, Barcelona 6, PSG 1. Messi best season, of course, that season with Guardiola where he scored, what, like more than 50 goals. Then is Neymar a legend? Is Neymar a legend? To be a legend, you have to no longer play football, you know? So right now, Neymar is not a legend. Will he be a legend in the future? I doubt it. I feel that he would have been a legend if he remained at Barcelona, really. Next up, Suarez replacement ideas. I feel that there's only one guy that can replace Suarez, and that is Harry Kane. I say it, Harry Kane. Harry Kane, for me, is the best striker in the world behind Suarez. And also what he does on the field is very similar to what Suarez does. He's not only about scoring goals, but also creating goals. And just the work rate and passion he put into everything he does is insane. So for me, if you ask me who would I like to replace Suarez, it would be Harry Kane. But I just don't see it possible because Suarez right now is kind of like slowly declining. So we need kind of like a player which is slowly gonna rise up. And then like when he's at the top, Suarez can just leave. Harry Kane is already up here. He's already in the peak. So if we would like Harry Kane or somebody like him to come into the club, Suarez would need to leave because Suarez won't give up playing time for obviously Harry Kane. And you cannot have Harry Kane on the bench. So for me, it's either between Luka Jovic, Andre Silva, or Harry Kane. So guys, while I was editing this video, I found this really nice question submitted by Moises Messi, and this is going to be the last one for this Q&A. And that one is going to be, which is your greatest all-time 11? So I'm going to do it really fast because it's already almost 20 minutes. And this is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Buffon at the goalkeeper position. For the right, I'm going to go with Dani Alves, the two center backs, Carles Puyol and Maldini. For the left, Roberto Carlos. The three-man midfield, Busquets, Xavi and Iniesta. And then up top, I'm gonna go with Lionel Messi, Johan Cruyff, and probably R9, the original Ronaldo. So yeah, the original Ronaldo. And well, I just want to take this final time to say thank you so much for all the contributions you have given to my channel, all the attention, all your support. It has been absolutely amazing. I'm gonna be trying to get back into it more than ever, because I have been losing the fun of it. Like, it's everything that you do, but I need to really appreciate this moment, you know, because there are people out there that depend, or I don't know, enjoy what I'm doing, and I want to have the fun in that as well. So I'm gonna be trying out new things, and hopefully you like them. And well, stay tuned for the more in this channel. Well, see you in the next one. Take care, thank you, and ciao.